Hello there everyone and welcome back to the YouTube channel. I hope you are having a fantastic day, and in today's video we are going to break down how we have created and launched a Christmas range for our candles, and hopefully to give you some ideas, some inspiration and kind of the process behind how we launched them. So this is our Christmas range. This is a Fig and Snowberry, my favourite scent of all. Firstly, it tends to start with going on Pinterest and having a look at ideas, looking around at social media and other brands and see what they're doing. I really like Pinterest because it's very, very specific into what you're looking for. So if you're looking for something, say for example like a website design, Pinterest is really, really helpful for that. Whereas I find other platforms such as Instagram or LinkedIn and stuff show you other content, so it's not as curated as Pinterest. Then the process starts in, we jump onto Photoshop, which is one of my favourite tools to use for designing, and this is where we'll start to design the logo. So I wanted to go with the clear labels, which I just think look really nice and work really, really well. So I'm designing this on a grey background, and then what I tend to do is mock up using Photoshop a mock of what your product will look like or what your label will look like. And I think this is really, really useful because you never 100% know what it's going to look like. So if you can maybe print it off, or if you can design a mock on the computer just before you like print it and spend all that money, it's really, really helpful. So yeah, think about this when you're designing your stuff. Then to get the files printed, we use a website called stickythings.co.uk. I'm not sure if there's one better where you are. Leave it in the comments below and help someone else out. This time we went for the matte finish clear label, so it's got that kind of frostiness to it. Wasn't intentional, but I thought it looked quite good, so we kept it. Basically I made the wrong size, so we had to cut them down to be able to fit them on the candle. So that's why I've got a guillotine, and there's all the labels. So here's me and Bella sorting it out, and what we did is we labelled them underneath, so we had the colour, and then we like laid them all out in a pile so we knew which one was which. There's a lot of candles to label. Then, so yeah, as I said before, we had to cut it off. We had a little bit of writing at the bottom, but this just didn't really fit, so we had to cut it off. But it still looks good. So yeah, it was a process of just cutting down the labels and then working from there. When it comes to actually wrapping the labels, what you want to do is find on the candle itself the mark where the glass joins together, give it a little wipe, and then peel the label off. And especially with like the clear labels, you kind of want to like run your hand down so that you're smoothing out any of the air bubbles, and then as you're doing it, you're turning it gently, so you're putting the label across the whole candle. Yeah, just smooth out any final air bubbles, and then what I found is I went over with some tissue just to make it look really, really nice. There's a lot of candles, it's very fiddly, but I think it looks good, and it's one of those things that you can just listen to a podcast, or you can do something like listen to a bit of music, or maybe you stick a movie on in the background, something where you don't really have to concentrate, it just looks, yeah. So that's the colour, as you can see, with red to whatever the red candle is. And then once these were all done, I took them over to Mum's house to keep the stock over there. So right, and now it's on to one of my favourite things to do across the whole business, and that is the photography. So we had one of each scent, some like background stuff. And I highly recommend, if you've got the space, to get like a little studio area and buy a good light. You can get the Godox light for about £50, I think it is. And that is such a good light. I'm using it literally right now, so such a good light for video, photos. It's very versatile and it's cheap. Make sure there's no other light in the room so that you don't get that kind of contrastiness, and make sure you close the door. And then yeah, start playing about with your photos and playing about with how they look, do different positions. I really love doing this because I can just listen to music. I can like sit down and just really get into the flow of things. Like I do find that like late at night, I put a mix on and then I'm just going for it. We made sure that we got the photos so that they look for the e-commerce site, and then we also made sure we got some like lifestyle ones with a bit of background and some bokeh, so that it just looks really nice, and for social media content. And remember, when you're taking photos, like, you've got the ability to take as many as you want, so don't feel like you need to just really make it look perfect. Just take a photo, and then take a photo, 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 change it, take a photo, take a photo, and you can delete it, and it's a little bit of a hassle, but I find that way that you get more than you need to. You you don't want to go back into the edit and then look at it and go, oh, I wish I got a photo that did that. Or just take loads, and you'll find that your unconscious mind will help you when it takes photos. So now it's time to upload them. I use Lightroom to do this, and it's my favorite tool. I use across the kind of whole suite. It's a really, really good tool. So what we'll start with is doing a basic edit. We'll start with the S-curve and creating just a nice sort of lift the highs up and drop the lows down, and then also adjusting like the exposure, contrast, shadows, etc. Have a play about this. It's very, very subjective, so you can do whatever you want. Then once this is done, I use Shopify for our website and to upload the products. So this was just a case of writing the copy out, which is not my strongest point, and then also uploading the images, the prices, and staying the stock. Then it went on to creating social media content. With this, we have, as you can see, we used the images that we took, did a little pre-launch, and then we also did something. I did something with my daughter where we got her just to sit down and choose her favourite scent, and we found this works really well. I think because it's family, it's young children. What's your name?
Bella.
Who are you?
Your daughter. Christmas pudding.
Christmas pudding. So that is your favourite one.
It sounds like I'm trying to tell us.
Does it? Like, and use that to your advantage if you want to. Like, don't feel guilty that you're doing that. Yeah. Case of constantly pushing out on social media and thinking of different ways that you can market your product. So we did a launch event where we had a discount code, and then we've also continuously pushed it out on social media. Our Pinterest is linked through to our Shopify account, which is really, really useful. And we had our first order, which was a fig and snowberry with the Bella White discount that we had applied. One of our little wrapping papers saying Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And this was just a case of wrapping it up and pleating it, how we do our normal candles, but with the Christmas one instead. And then sending it off beautifully wrapped for our customers to open. And another thing that we also did is we had a stall at our craft fair, and this was one of our first ever craft fairs, so we tried it out. And I'm going to make a video on this, so if you want to see that, hit the subscribe button down there, and you'll know when I post it. So yeah, I'm going to walk you through our design, how we did it, what it looked like, how we like what percentage of sales we made, everything. So if you want to see that, click the subscribe button down there. That would mean so much, and that would help me out. I want to say thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you got some ideas. If you leave in the comments what ideas you got from this video, if you did get any, or if you have any ideas for us that we can do for our brand, let me know. And have a blessed day. Keep building your business and keep doing what you are doing.